All right, how to shoot your index release better with archery, why your shot is not accurate. You have no idea how mad this made me for the longest time, okay? Because there was a period of time, for months, I was shooting 50 arrows a day. And not to brag, but I got like all the best equipment, right? I got like Matthews Lift X, you know, this QAD Res, UltraView slider, Matthew, bridge lock stabilizer. I have all the good stuff, right? Shooting my 50 arrows a day. I bought a great release. This is the Wise Guy, the Spot Hog Wise Guy, okay? So I got all the good stuff, right? I had my bow professionally tuned at a pro shop. I had everything, right? And I couldn't figure out what everyone meant by stop punching the trigger. Okay, so this is a term that I would hear on the internet, is I would say, oh, your shot's inaccurate because you're punching the trigger. Now, here's the funniest thing about that. What I noticed was my shot was not accurate, even when working on a very gradual, slow pull. And I realized something. You being able to pull through the trigger so you have a better shot with archery is going to be dependent on two things. Number one is going to be the size of your hand, okay? I do not have very big hands. So for example, I have this release. You can see I have the release part all the way forward. That's as far forward as it goes. What this does is this allows me, instead of being at the fingertip, see, this is why guys end up punching the trigger. It's because their finger is not wrapped deep enough. So I'm going to show you how I shoot right now versus how I used to shoot. And this is really important because if you're hunting and you get nervous before that shot, you want everything to be dialed in best you can. Let me show you how I currently shoot. So I open up the rest, pop my arrow right in, lock it. And what I do is I want full horizontal alignment. You can see horizontal alignment, horizontal alignment. This is horizontal aligned perfectly with the release. When I pull, the main leverage or point of strength is coming between my thumb and my index finger. This is where all the strength is, right here. So I get my hand behind this, pulling through. Now I'm going to show you how I shoot right now versus how I used to shoot, and then versus how I shoot today again. So this is how I shoot right now, okay? You're going to notice I draw back, smooth draw cycle, perfect horizontal alignment. I get that knuckle right into the side of my chin or into the side of my anchor point. And now when I shoot, I want a full wrap. So I got my finger all the way here now, okay? Let me show you what I mean. So you can see when I release that, I'm pulling through the entire trigger. Let's watch again. I'm going to go even slower. Pull back, I anchor, I get a full wrap, the entire index finger, and I pull slow. So when I release, my accuracy is not affected because my finger is all the way over back here, okay? Some of you, you're probably going to want your trigger to sit in this groove right here where this knuckle is. Me, I go back even further. I like my release to sit in this padding right here, way back with my fingers. So when I curl and I squeeze, I'm pulling through with the entire finger. If you compare this to how most guys shoot when they first get a release, the problem is they do not adjust this mechanical piece right here so they can get a full wrap with their finger. And secondly, they only use the front of their forefinger. That's how you get inaccurate shots. So now what I'm going to do again is I'm going to show you how I used to shoot. Or what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I used to shoot. Okay? This is how I used to shoot. So how I used to shoot was this release was actually all the way forward. Right now I showed you that I have it set all the way back. Well, I'll take the time here to show you. You can see I have it set pushed all the way back. I used to have this all the way forward. You can see you can adjust this bolt right here to slide this. So I have it all the way back because I don't have very big hands. So that way it's very easy for me to get my entire finger here to squeeze. Okay, but I'll show you how I used to shoot when this was more forward. Okay, so this is a bad shot and this is how I used to shoot. What would happen is I would only use the forefinger right here, just the tip. And this, when you only go right here and you only use this tip, that's what causes you to punch the trigger. Because as this releases, your entire finger ends up slipping all the way back anyways. Far better to get a full wraparound. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put everything together in this video to give you a step-by-step process what to do. Okay, now let's take it from the top. So based on how big your hand is, you wanna play around with the length of your release. I recommend getting an index release that has an adjustment. Okay, the more expensive ones typically have an adjustment. So step number one, size up how big your hand is. Step two, figure out when you're drawing back the best placement for your finger. I prefer a full wraparound. So to put this all together, step one, you're going to get a release that has a piece here that extends that you can adjust. Step two, you're going to get your anchor point down and practice now with the trigger being more closer to your hand. It's easier at that point for you to get your entire finger wrapped around the release. So now to put it all together, we have chosen a release that you can adjust the sliding piece right here to get it further back to your hand. You've adjusted it. You now have good placement for your finger, either right here at the point of the knuckle or more back towards the padding right here like I do it. And now you're gonna put it all together. A slow squeeze as you release. You don't punch the trigger, and keep in mind, punching the trigger typically comes from you having the release too far forward anyways, and you only using the forefinger. Everything in my shot changed when I actually got this adjusted to where I can now get a full wrap. So now how it looks when we put it all together, right? You're going to hook it. You're going to get perfect horizontal alignment, no twisting, no adding torque during your draw, no adding torque on your anchor. We want a full, perfect horizontal alignment. The way you sighted the bow in and the way you tune the bow is the way you want to shoot every single time with the exact release. We're gonna draw, get that anchor right away. Finger comes over for a full wrap. We lock onto the target, and now we're gonna have a very slow squeeze. And that right there is how I shoot. That changed everything. In the next video, I'm gonna show you all my shot mechanics when it comes to how I actually hold the bow, how I actually loosen up my grip just a bit, so that way most of the tension is in the back here of the draw cycle for my anchor. And then I'm even going to show you why you want a sight that has a leveler here and how this changed my shot as well. For now, this video is just how to shoot an index release better. To give you a recap, step one, get a release that's an index release that has a slider. Okay, now adjust it to where you can easily get your entire finger wrapped around it, and then work on, instead of punching, you work on slowly pulling through. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.